lackluster tonight. Absolutely lackluster as shit. I'm the Godfather Soul, Justin Lewis Fleming, and this show was just completely garbage tonight. I mean, they had four freaking matches tonight at Backlash. Yeah, just terrible. Five freaking matches tonight. A lackluster show tonight to kick off the Mother's Day weekend. Name my topic tonight for Backlash 2005 is called let's see. Hold on a second. What was it? See what was it? Name my topic tonight is called Shitty and Stupid in St. Louis. Who will get that? Who will ever get that title? That undisputed WWE title off of John Cena? In the future for WWE. So much I would say tonight. Terrible show. Way to start off this Mother's Day weekend. Name my topic tonight is gonna. Now I'm gonna before I start with my review. Now I'm gonna kick out a show with this with John Cena's single bad man. Well, Cena, you ain't no bad man. You ain't no bad man at all. You were bad, but you know yeah. Cena said wait, hold on. You know what? Yeah, Cena, you said yeah. Cena was right. He is a bad man, a bad piece of shit, as I say. Cena says he's a bad man, huh? Somehow down another way or another, he's going to get that yeah bad man yeah bad yeah the song that should have been John Cena's heel thing, bad man, which is really is right now, bad man, since he's a heel. So stick around. Let me get my review down. I'm going to play the song of John Cena's single Bad Man, which is he is right now as a heel, trying to be a piece of shit, and no one's ever gonna get this. Someone needs to get that title off of him sometime down the road. So stick around, right back to my review, and I'll be right back. Oh, you done did it now. Chaos, you should have put this one in the vault, man. They not ready. They don't know what's coming. Yes, Cena, you are a bad man. Indeed, you are a bad, bad man. Triple H, well done. You put up a terrible show now. Let's have John Cena act like an ass. And somehow you're gonna keep that title off of him forever. Okay, get ready. Time for me to get break down the business how this garbage this event was for 5 fucking matches. Okay, here we go. Okay, WWE okay, WWE Backlash hype video showcasing all big matches scheduled for tonight. No, I should call this yeah. I mean, let me just go to it. We go live to the Enterprise Center. We see a big pyrokinetics display. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett welcome us to the show. Pat McAfee will normally be on commentary with them, but he's scheduled to face Gunther later tonight. They kick off the show with the Fatal 4-Way match: LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus Jacob Fatu. Referee is D.A. Brewer. The bell rings, and the LA Knight points at Jacob Fatu. Fatu extends his arms. Crowd is buzzing and chanting Fatu. Knight goes after Fatu while Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, who fought at WrestleMania 41, go at it. McIntyre and Priest quickly fall to the ringside and continue to brawl. In the ring, Fatu headbutts Knight back, and Knight fights back and punches away at Fatu. Fatu grabs him by the head and throws him to the opposite corner. Hold on a second. Sorry, it was one of my messages. Okay, they go at it. Like I said. McIntyre and Priest quickly fall to the ringside and continue to brawl. In the ring, Fatu headbutts Knight back. Knight fights back and punches away at Fatu. Fatu grabs him by the head and throws him into the opposite corner. Fatu charges, but Knight sidesteps him and hits a backbreaker. Priest runs in, but Knight drops him back with a suplex. Knight catches McIntyre with a baseball slide and hits Fatu with a slingshot battering ram. Knight catches Fatu with a sunset backbreaker and slams McIntyre down. The crowd gets going. But Priest grabs him by the throat. Knight drops Priest with a DDT before hitting McIntyre with an elbow drop. Fatu sets up for a Samoan drop, but Knight counters with a reverse DDT for a 1 count. Fatu drives Knight to the corner and uppercuts him. Priest grabs Fatu, but Fatu knocks him back. Knight and Priest quickly team up to take Fatu down with a high low, but Knight and Priest send Fatu into the ring post, damaging the shoulder. Priest attacks Knight. McIntyre runs in and hits Knight with an over the head belly button suplex before hitting Priest with a spine buster. McIntyre drops Knight with a backbreaker before hitting Priest with one. Fatu runs in, but then McIntyre ducks a clothesline and hits him with a net breaker. McIntyre kicks up and poses. McIntyre sizes Fatu up for a Claymore kick. Knight clotheslines him down. Fatu super kicks Knight down and he kicks him out of the ring. Fatu elbows Priest back and goes for goes to a top rope. Priest kicks him in the face. Priest hits a super karate on the Fatu before hitting Knight with a flatliner. Priest exits in the ring and drops off the side steps with a double X handle. Priest gets Fatu in the ring and kicks him in the face. Priest grabs him in the arm and starts starts the old school top rope walk. Priest dives off the ropes and with a crossbody block on McIntyre. Priest then turns Fatu inside with a clothesline. Priest hits McIntyre and Knight with running back elbows. Priest clotheslines McIntyre over the top rope and takes Knight down with a spinning heel kick. Priest goes outside and charges Fatu, but Fatu crushes him with a Samoan drop onto the cage and off the barricade. Okay, the crowd goes wild for Fatu and slaps the commentary table. McIntyre looks at Fatu and from the other side of the ring, they intensely stare at each other and get on the apron on the opposite sides of the rings. They get in the ring and they stare at each other. Soon they approach each other and exchange right hands. McIntyre rocks Fatu with a Glasgow kiss. McIntyre hits the ropes, but Fatu hits a big bad elbow. Fatu follows up with a Samoan drop before crushing him with a running hip attack. Fatu poses in the center of the ring and McIntyre looks to be unconscious. Fatu pushes into the near center of the ring. The crowd chants, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Crowd nods at the crowd and he climbs to the top rope. McIntyre digs his thumbs into the eyes and sets up for a suplex. Knight sweeps McIntyre's feet and puts him in the tree of woe. Knight kicks away at the prone McIntyre before backing up and hitting a running knee to midsection. Knight climbs over McIntyre and grabs Fatu, but Fatu knocks him away. Fatu sets up, but McIntyre sets up and hits Fatu with a belly-to-belly suplex. Landing Fatu onto Knight, Fatu immediately pops up and hits McIntyre with a hip attack. Fatu then hits the ropes and crushes Pete with a suicide dive. The crowd's going wild for Fatu as he goes to the top rope. Fatu hits McIntyre with a swanton bomb and gyrates. Knight hits Fatu with a blunt force trauma. Priest hits Knight with a South of Heathen. McIntyre then hits Priest with a Claymore kick. Priest falls on it to Knight. 1-2. McIntyre breaks up the pin. Crowd loudly chants, "This is awesome!" Once again, Fatu gets to his feet and gyrates McIntyre and hits him back with an elbow, back elbow, and connects with a future DDT, shot DDT. Knight counters counters out of a future shot DT. McIntyre gets out of the BFT and hits a future shot DT. McIntyre kicks up and signals for the end. McIntyre counts down and hits Knight with a Claymore kick. 1-2. Priest pulls the referee out of the ring. McIntyre is furious. Priest has once again screwed him out of a title. Well, McIntyre brought him upon himself. McIntyre, Drew didn't, the Priest didn't screw McIntyre. McIntyre screwed McIntyre. That's all I can say. Just like Vince McMahon didn't screw Brett screwed Brett in 1997 Survivor Series. McIntyre and Priest brawled at ringside before violently going over the barricade into the timekeeper's area. In the ring, Fatu strikes away at Knight and with headbutts. The crowd is going wild for Fatu. Fatu goes for a double moonsault, but Knight rolls out of the way. Knight goes for the second rope, does his taunt, and leaps to the top rope and for a diving elbow drop. Knight hits again and covers for a near fall. You cut to see McIntyre and Priest brawling into the crowd. They brawl into a crate, and McIntyre sets it up for a suplex off the crate. Priest takes the rakes McIntyre's eyes to avoid it. Priest pulls the straps down and grabs McIntyre by the throat. Priest crushes McIntyre with the hot stuff heaving off the crates and through two tables. The WWE officials immediately run to check on both men. What a bump. Back at ringside, Knight drives Fatu into the ring apron before sending him to the head first into the ring post. Knight bounces Fatu off the commentary table. A piece of the table falls off, so Knight strikes Fatu with it. Knight lays Fatu on the table, and heads to the second rope. Solo Sioka runs ringside and pulls Fatu off the table. The crowd loudly boos him. Knight approaches Sioka, but someone from the crowd blindsides him. It's Jeff Cobb from New Japan Pro Wrestling. The crowd goes wild for Cobb. Cobb sends Knight into the ring post and barricade a few times. Cobb Van Valences him against the ring post. Cobb sends Knight into the ring. Fatu looks confused to see Cobb and angrily looks at Sioka. Sioka motions toward the ring, but Fatu looks reluctant and gets inside. Fatu eventually gets in and hits Knight with a running hip attack. Fatu hits Knight with a double jump moonsault for the victory. Winner is still U.S. champion Jacob Fatu. Sioka and Cobb walk off together. Wait for Fatu. He walks off on his own with the U.S. champion on his shoulder. It looks like they're continuing this bloodline garbage. Somehow they're gonna make he's somehow a jobber in this match here. Jacob Fatu. He's not. Sometimes he's a tweener. Because some fans think he's more like a face, but he's still more of a heel. He's kind of like both a heel and a tweener. And it's announced that on June 28th, 2025, a WWE Night of Champions will take place in Saudi Arabia. And I know, got a gut feeling somehow they're gonna take that they're gonna book Nia. I predict they're gonna put Nia versus Jax versus Tiffany at that event, June 28th, and somehow they're gonna put that title back on Nia Jax. That SmackDown was title because you know what, I think I think even though I don't like Tiffany Stratton, I wasn't a big fan of her, but I feel like I know why the fans want Nia Jax to get that belt off of her. I think the reason why they want Nia Jax to get that SmackDown Women's title belt off of Tiffany Stratton because they think it's Tiffany Stratton's own fault that she should told did what Nia Jax told her to do. Go to Raw, cash in that Money in the Bank, that 2024 Money in the Bank briefcase on that Money in the Bank briefcase on Rhea Ripley, and take that Raw Women's title off of her. So again, just because she was a coward, so it can protect their precious SmackDown Women's title. And it's gonna turn a black eye for WWE. It's gonna go out of business because look, they already got failing anyway with all these releases, just like AEW. Let's go back to when I was speaking. The commentators run down the number of times John Cena and Randy Orton have shared in a ring. They shared the ring 93 times with 23 one-on-one matches, 19 multi-man matches, and 51 tag team matches. Now it's time for the Women's Intercontinental Championship match to show a promo. Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man whore Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyrie. Referee is Jessica Carr. This is the first time the Women's Intercontinental Championship has been defended in a premium live event, a PLE. So that's what PLE stands for, premium live event. They lock up, and Lynch powers her to the corner. Lynch talks a little trash, so Valkyrie shoves her. They do some standing switches before Lynch hits a waist lock takeover. Valkyrie elbows her off and hits the ropes, but Lynch follows her into the ropes and shoulder tackles her. Lynch talks trash. Lynch hits the ropes, but Valkyrie drops down and leapfrogs her. Valkyrie manages to take her down for a 1 count. Lynch hits her an arm drag and taunts the crowd. Valkyrie looks unimpressed. Valkyrie grabs a wrist lock, but Lynch fights out. Valkyrie slides through the legs and avoids a kick and takes Lynch down for a premium submission. Valkyrie drops her and applies a Mexican surfboard stretch. Valkyrie rolls her over and pulls her back up. Valkyrie drops her down and pulls her back up before dropping her back for a 2 count. Valkyrie soon hits a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Valkyrie talks trash to Lynch and kicks her out of the ring. Valkyrie gets the crowd going and she hits the ropes for a wrecking ball drop kick. Valkyrie gets Lynch back in the ring and hits the top rope. Lynch sweeps the feet and rips Valkyrie down to the mat. Lynch clubs away at Valkyrie and sneers at the crowd and they boo her. Lynch's left elbow is bleeding. Lynch rubs Valkyrie's face into the mat and covers her for a 1 count. Lynch talks trash. Valkyrie tries to fight back, but Lynch cuts her off. Lynch slaps and chops Valkyrie down in the corner before taunting the crowd. Lynch pulls the hair to pull Valkyrie to her feet. Valkyrie avoids an avalanche, but Lynch soon fights back and hits a springboard kick. Lynch follows up with a back exploder and covers, but Valkyrie's shoulders aren't down at first. Lynch shifts her position and picks her up, so a 1 count. Lynch argues with the referee. Lynch chokes Valkyrie on the bottom rope, and Lynch continues to taunt the crowd. Lynch sends Valkyrie out of the ring and hits a baseball slide. Lynch drives Valkyrie into the barricade and yells at Valkyrie's fiance. Valkyrie fights back, but Lynch drives her into the ring post, and Lynch gets Valkyrie in the ring and picks up a 2 count. The crowd starts coming around and on Lynch as she enchants Becky. Lynch shoves Valkyrie a few minutes, but Valkyrie replies with a slap. Valkyrie Riley slaps her back and goes for a back exploder, but Valkyrie gets out of it. Valkyrie hits a running fisherman suplex. Both men are down. Valkyrie gets up and is fired up. Valkyrie hits a player clotheslines before kicking away at Lynch before step up enziguri. Valkyrie connects with a gut wrench sit out powerbomb for a near fall. Valkyrie cannot believe it. Lynch rolls to the apron. Lynch soon punches and kicks Valkyrie back from the apron. Lynch goes for a top rope, but Valkyrie cuts her off and hits a delayed suplex for a near fall. Valkyrie is wondering if she has to do to put Lynch away. Valkyrie lifts her, but Lynch slides her off. Valkyrie rolls her up, but Lynch rolls through and grabs the bottom rope. The referee catches Lynch cheating and stops the count. Lynch fires back with a reverse DDT for a near fall. Lynch is getting pissed. The crowd starts to chant Valkyrie. Lynch gets up and talks trash. The crowd boos. Valkyrie gets a manhandle of the slam and sends her into the corner. Valkyrie manages to dump her out of the ring and hits a plancha. Valkyrie gets her in the ring and goes for the top rope. Valkyrie connects with a diving leg drop back into the net. Valkyrie positions Lynch and picks up a 2 count. Valkyrie goes for a moonsault, but Lynch gets the knees up. Both women soon get up and start trading strikes. Valkyrie goes for a backslide pin, but Valkyrie takes her down with a double arm slam into a cross arm breaker attempt. Valkyrie gets out and applies a cross arm breaker. Lynch manages to fight out and applies to disarm her. Valkyrie gets out and rolls her up for a 2 count. Lynch goes for a manhandle slam, but Valkyrie counters with a roll up for a 2 count. Lynch pops up and hits a manhandle slam. 1-2. Valkyrie kicks out. Lynch is stunned. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Lynch wonders what to do and starts to punch away at Valkyrie. Lynch goes to the outside and grabs a steel chair. The referee stops Lynch for using the chair and throws it out of the ring. As the referee does that, Lynch poses the top turnbuckle. Valkyrie avoids being sent to the exposed turnbuckle and hits a German suplex. Valkyrie connects with a spin kick and goes for the second rope for a moonsault. 1-2. Lynch kicks out. Valkyrie pulls Lynch into her shoulders. Lynch slides off and nearly sends her into the exposed turnbuckle. Valkyrie hits the second turnbuckle, which is still covered. Lynch hits a manhandle slam and covers 1-2. Valkyrie kicks out. Lynch is stunned and strikes away at Valkyrie. The referee stops Lynch from sending Valkyrie into exposed turnbuckle and goes to put the bad pack on. As she does, Valkyrie hits a Nightwing. The referee is delayed, so Valkyrie goes for only gets a 2 count. Valkyrie lifts Lynch again, but Lynch gets out of the Nightwing. Lynch goes for a manhandle slam, but Valkyrie rolls her up for a 2 count. Lynch quickly thumbs the eye. Lynch rolls her up, but Valkyrie rolls through and picks her up for the win. Winner is still Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyrie. And look, watch this. Furious Lynch immediately attacks Valkyrie and clubs her way at her. Lynch applies to disarm her and clinches in. Yeah, what a sore lose! Wow, Becky, what a sore lose! Well, Becky, you sore losing bitch. WWE officials pull Lynch off of her. Valkyrie is holding her face and arm in pain. And irate Lynch walks off and she tries to run back in the ring, but Jason Jordan stops her. A broken Lyra Valkyrie gets her up to her feet and holds the title. Yeah, cry all you want, Becky Lynch. Cry all you want. Be a sore losing tramp. All you want. Talk about being a sore loser. What a sore loser she was tonight. A sore loser. Little crybaby. What a crybaby. Boo, cry all you want, Becky, but Lynch, but Lyra but Lyra Valkyrie needs this. Lyra needs this win. You're just like you see, you're the same way. You're just the same way as Charlotte, and when she was to Tiffany Stratton, in the same way as was the Naomi when she was to Jade Cargill. Yeah, Becky Lynch just became Becky Lynch. Charlotte and Becky are just like the same. They're both complainers because they can't stand how good and talented Lyra and Tiffany are. Even though I'm not no big of a fan of Tiffany Stratton, Lyra's the best. I think WWE. But Becky Lynch needs to stop complaining being the sore loser and pass the torch to Lyra. And even though I don't like Tiffany, but Charlotte needs to pass the torch to her. But I've got a feeling that WWE will never pass the torch. That then they're not even gonna let Naomi pass the torch to Jade. They're just gonna let her act like a bitch ass to Jade. I think Naomi needs to go. Just like I think Becky Lynch needs to go, and I think it needs to go just like Charlotte needs to go too. Just like Charlotte needs to go. Yeah, what a sore loser Becky was. Yeah, sore loser. Yeah, the first two night SummerSlam is coming to MetLife Stadium, hosted by Cardi B. Give me a break. Two nights of SummerSlam. What are they like? Be like trying to be like WrestleMania now? SummerSlam. This is unbelievable. It's crazy. Now we see a video of footage shows John Cena and Randy Orton battling on January 19, 2002 in their first match in Ohio Valley Wrestling. Wow. The last match was on February 7, 2017 on SmackDown. Now we time for the Intercontinental Championship title match. Intercontinental Champion and Dirty Dum Dum comes out to the stage with the Judgment Day, but they don't accompany him to ringside. Here we go, Intercontinental Championship match, Penta versus Dirty Dum Dum. Eddie Ringo was the referee. Bell rings, Mysterio shoves Penta. Penta drop kicks him, but Mysterio quickly fights back. Mysterio sends him to the ropes, but Penta ducks a clothesline and hits a running Hurricanrana. Mysterio hits the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and hits Penta with a running Hurricanrana. Penta soon kicks Mysterio in the face and hits a backstabber for a 2 count. Penta charges, but Mysterio crouches the top rope and knocks him into the ringside. Mysterio hits the ropes and hits a suicide dive into a DDT. Wow. Mysterio grabs Penta and they soon begin trading chops. Mysterio drives Penta into the ring, sidesteps and gets in the ring to celebrate. Mysterio goes to the outside and puts Penta back in the ring. There are dueling chants for both men. Mysterio hits a slingshot sent down for a 2 count. Mysterio stomps away at Penta and punches him before posing. Mysterio covers, but Penta grabs the bottom rope. Mysterio applies a rear chin lock. Penta fights up, so Mysterio sends him into the ropes. Mysterio lowers his head and ekes a kick. Penta fights back with a reverse sling blade. Mysterio rolls out of the ring to recover, but cover. Penta goes to the top rope and stands on the top ring post for hitting a cross body block to the floor. The referee starts counting them out, but they get into the ring before the 10 count. Mysterio starts up with a three amigos, but only hits a one before Penta cuts it off. Mysterio knocks him to the ropes for a 619, but Penta avoids it. Penta slingshots him to the ring with a crucifix for a 2 count. Mysterio soon knocks Penta into the ropes and hits Oblivion for a near fall. Mysterio goes for a running monkey flip, but Penta turns him into the top rope. Penta kicks him, but Mysterio knocks him into the apron. Mysterio goes for a suplex on the apron, but Penta kicks him away. Penta then hits Mysterio with a Mexican Destroyer on the apron. Carlito runs down to distract the referee. Finn Balor and JD McDonagh grab Penta, and Balor could strike Penta before he dilly-dallies and grabs a steel chair. The referee sees him and ejects him from the ringside before they can do anything to Penta. Penta then hits him with a top cone helio. Balor managed to avoid it. Penta gets in the ring and hits Mysterio with a super kick. Balor gets on the apron and distracts the referee, as does El Grande Americano, we all know as Chad Gable. Headbutts him with a loaded mask. Mysterio goes to the top rope and the crowd's going crazy. Mysterio hits a frog splash to win. The winner is still Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum. Mysterio celebrates with the Judgment Day. Mysterio shouts that he is the greatest of all time. All I can say is this. Bullshit. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Terrible. Dum Dum doesn't deserve to be Intercontinental Champion. Should be Penta. You know, and no, I saw the look, and I saw the look in Finn Balor's eyes because that's look. I don't blame Finn. Somebody he's gonna turn on Dum Dum, and I don't blame him because all Dum Dum wants to do was just ride in Finn Balor's coattails. I'm on Finn Balor for this one. See, and I don't why. See, the Intercontinental Champion should have been on Penta. But I don't know why in the world. I don't know why. It should have been. I don't know why they had to shove Dum Dum in our first and put the Intercontinental belt on him when it should be on Penta. Maybe I guess Triple H must be biased against AEW talent that come to WWE because Penta is from who was Pentagon in AEW was from that company. It's unbelievable. That was just terrible. Okay, then it was announced this Monday in Raw. It will be AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, the Royal Rays versus American Made, and Rhea Ripley and Raw Women's World Champion Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez and NXT Women's Champion Julia. Yeah, for one night, Rhea Ripley and Raw and Io Sky are tag team partners. But make no mistake about it, they're Rhea Ripley and Io Sky will face each other again for that Raw Women's title. But the real question is why didn't Rhea Ripley came out to her aid last Monday on Raw when she got tapped by Roxanne and Julia. Okay, scheduled for Saturday night's main event in 2 weeks. Main event: Jey Uso will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. Oh boy, please, I pray to God, that they do not have him drop that World Heavyweight title from Jey Uso to this arrogant douchebag, this arrogant washed up mofo Logan Paul, this internet personality piece of garbage. Please. Jey Uso will retain. Please. I hope he play God he'll retain. Tonight, John Cena, it was announced tonight John Cena and Randy Orton will battle on Backlash for the third time. This is their 11th PLE one-on-one match against each other. The series is tied 5-5. It'll be the 24th match with the title on the line. The Legends Karate Kid, the Karate Kid Legends section is shown. And then we see a video: Gunther versus Pat McAfee. As Pat McAfee makes his entrance, he slaps the hands of Michael Cole. Cole apologizes for McAfee getting into a situation. He also apologizes because he'll be biased for this match. Now I said to myself, Michael says he feels responsible for getting Pat McAfee in this match. Thinking if anything happens to Pat McAfee, be on his shoulders. It'll be his fault. Here we go. Starting out this match: Pat McAfee versus Ring General Gunther. Referees Dan Engler. The bell rings, and McAfee pulls off his football jersey. Gunther smirks at McAfee. McAfee looks intense. The crowd chants, "You tapped out," to Gunther. They lock up, and Gunther easily shows McAfee off. They take a few moments before locking up again. Gunther hooks up a side headlock and slings McAfee off. McAfee gets to his feet and adjusts his neck. Gunther wrenches the arm and slaps in the back of the head a few times. McAfee flips through and kips up before avoiding a chop. The crowd loudly cheers McAfee. Gunther smiles broadly. A "Let's Go" chant picks up. McAfee applies a front face lock. Gunther drops him on the apron. Gunther gets out of it and pats McAfee on the head. This pisses off McAfee, who responds with a right hand. McAfee tries to slingshot into the ring, but he slips. McAfee quickly gets to his feet and punches away at Gunther. McAfee hits the ropes, but Gunther wipes him out with a chop. Gunther grabs McAfee and clubs him on the back before kicking him in the head a few times. McAfee responds with some body chops and a chop. Gunther challenges him to hit him with a harder. McAfee hits a few more chops before Gunther lays him out with one chop. Gunther takes some time before pulling him up, chopping away at him. McAfee looks unconscious on his feet, so Gunther chomps him down to the mat. The referee checks on McAfee. Gunther smiles as Michael Cole yells at him from commentary. Gunther wrenches the arm and sends him into the ropes for a shoulder tackle. McAfee avoids the elbow drop and kicks him in the spine. Gunther furiously gets to his feet and hits a snapmare before kicking him in the spine. Cole is rooting for McAfee from commentary. McAfee pulls himself up and is getting fired up. McAfee hits some chops, but Gunther crushes him with a victorious boot. Cole tells Gunther to just cover him. Gunther invites Cole to go in the ring, but Cole doesn't oblige him. The crowd loudly chants, "You tapped out," toward Gunther. Gunther is starting to get pissed off. Gunther grabs McAfee, holds him up, while taunting Cole. McAfee pops up and he slaps him hard in the face. Gunther responds with a chop and with a German suplex. Gunther stands over McAfee and grabs him by the hair. Gunther applies a sleeper hold. McAfee tries to fight back, but Gunther drops him with a German suplex. Gunther begs Gunther to end the match. Gunther taunts the crowd, but Gunther puts McAfee in the corner and close to the chest before putting him on the top rope. Gunther goes for a German suplex, but McAfee blocks it and elbows him off. McAfee goes for a moonsault, but lands on his feet. When Gunther moves, Gunther for a German suplex, but McAfee lands on his feet again. McAfee kicks him in the spine and chest before a punt kick to chest for a 2 count. McAfee immediately pops up and looks at him. Looks like nothing happened to him. McAfee looks shocked. McAfee slaps him in the face, but Gunther is phased. McAfee chops him a few times, but Gunther hits a chop. McAfee lays him some stiff strikes, but Gunther shakes them off. They trade punches before McAfee hits the ropes and hits a big boot. McAfee follows up with a super kick, but Gunther blocks the kick and hits a power bomb. Cole screams that Gunther has beat him and to just end the match. Gunther stares at Cole before stopping for applying a Boston Crab. Cole gets off with the commentary to a huge ovation and goes to ring to cheer McAfee on. Gunther releases the Boston Crab and lays on McAfee before elbowing him to the face a few times. Gunther saunters over and pulls McAfee into the ring. Gunther grabs Cole and sets up for a powerbomb. McAfee boots Gunther in the face, but Gunther quickly boots him back down. Gunther furiously looks at Cole. McAfee rolls Gunther up for a near fall. Gunther goes for a suplex. Goes to a suplex. Suplex McAfee in the ring, but Cole grabs the leg. McAfee falls onto Gunther for a near fall. Gunther is furious at Cole Gunther grabs McAfee grabs Gunther with a sleeper hold, but Gunther gets out and turns him inside with a clothesline. Gunther then looks at Cole before trapping McAfee in a sleeper hold. McAfee tries to fight through the pain, and it looks like he eventually passes out. McAfee soon stuns the crowd and fights up. McAfee tries to elbow out, but Gunther pulls him down and keeps the sleeper holder applied. The referee checks on McAfee and calls for the bell. McAfee is unconscious. Winner by referee stoppage to ring general Gunther. Gunther is swelling profusely as he celebrates his win. Michael Cole checks on McAfee. McAfee comes in and stares at Gunther. McAfee gets to his feet, and Gunther shows a little respect before walking off Cole. Cole embraces McAfee and leaves him in the ring to soak up the cheers from the crowd. Please don't let Gunther turn back in the babyface because he's showing the pat on his face, patting him in the back. Please do not let I pray to God that they do not put him back as a babyface. Gunther, put him as a babyface. I'm sorry. Now it's time for the main event. The Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. The Viper Randy Orton gets a huge ovation as he makes his way to the ring in his hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. The Viper Randy Orton versus the evil Dr. Thugonomics, John Cena. The referee is Chad Patton. The bell rings and lock up for the first time in a singles match in over 8 years. They break before locking up again, but neither man attempts anything yet. The crowd loud Randy chant picks up. Cena looks for a handshake, but Orton laughs and declines. Cena talks a bit and extends his hand again. Orton goes for a handshake, but Cena pokes him in the eyes before applying a side headlock. Orton wipes him off and a shoulder tackles him before poking him in the eyes. Cena immediately gets out of the ring and looks worried. Orton poses on the second rope. Cena does not look happy. Cena gets back in the ring and they lock up. Orton powers Cena to the corner and punches him. Orton applies a side headlock and clinches in. The crowd chants, "You can't wrestle." Yes, he can. You can't wrestle. Yes, he can. Cena whips Orton off, drops down and leapfrogs him, but Orton runs him over with a shoulder tackle. Orton hits a headlock takeover and keeps it applied. Cena fights up and whips him off, but Orton runs him over with another shoulder tackle. Cena gets out of the ring and goes off to walk off. Cena waves Orton to the crowd off as he looks for a cheap title retention using the championship advantage. Orton runs after him and punches him in the back to ringside and gets him in the ring. Orton gets in the ring and Cena clotheslines him down. Cena punches away at Orton and puts him over in the corner. Cena starts up with the 10 punches. Orton fights him off and starts the 10 punches. He hits only 20 of them 20 times. Cena is stumbling around. Orton uppercuts him down for a 2 count. Orton starts up with his Garvin stomps. Orton backs up and drops a no knee for a 2 count. Orton waits for Cena to get up. Cena reverses a whip and applies a sleeper hold. Cena jumps on Orton's back and nearly brings him down, but Orton fights him off. Orton sends Cena to the ropes and applies a sleeper hold, but Cena whips Orton off and applies back into the sleeper hold. The crowd starts to boo. Orton whips Cena off and applies a sleeper hold. They trade sleeper holds until Orton drops him with a back suplex. Both men are down. Both men are down. Cena gets up and hits a pair of driving shoulder tackles before hitting a back suplex powerbomb. Cena smiles at the crowd and signals for a five knuckle shuffle. Cena hits it and Orton is stumbling around. Cena lifts Orton for an attitude adjustment, but Orton slides off. Orton hits a pair of clotheslines and ducks a clothesline. Hits a snap power slam. Cena rolls to the apron to recover, but Orton hooks the head for a draping DDT. Cena comes off the ropes and rolls him up for a 2 count. Cena quickly bites an FTF. Orton fights through, so Cena releases the hold. Orton kicks him off and hits a draping DDT. Orton holds back in pain and starts to get fired up. Orton drops down and stalks his prey. Cena slowly gets up and shoves off the RKO attempt. Cena lifts Orton for double A, but Orton counters in midair with an RKO. The crowd is chanting, joining this match and chants, "This is awesome." They slowly get up and exchange punches and kicks. Orton soon hits an uppercut, but Cena fires back with a double A. 1-2, Orton kicks out. There are dueling chants for it or Cena. Cena stalks him and goes for another double A. Not the no French, not double A like the wrestler and the enforcer Arn Anderson. This is it's like a move, not the wrestler, not the wrestling legend, the enforcer Arn Anderson. But Orton grabs the top rope. Cena lets him go and hits the ropes for a driving shoulder tackle. Cena goes for a second one, but Orton counters with an RKO. Cena immediately rolls towards the ropes. Orton sizes Cena up for a punt kick, but Cena moves. Cena hits another double A, but 1-2, Orton kicks out again. Cena slowly gets up and looks over at Orton. Cena goes for a punt kick, but Orton moves. Orton goes for an RKO, but Cena shoves him into the referee. Cena grabs Orton and hits a third double A, but the referee is down. Cena smiles and motions for the crowd to be quiet. Cena goes outside and grabs the Undisputed WWE Championship. Cena gets in the ring for the title, but Orton drops him with an RKO. The referee regains consciousness and 1-2 and counts 1-2. Cena kicks out, but Cena rolls out of the ring to recover. The crowd is furious and chants "bullshit." Orton goes outside and clears off commentary table. Referee Chad Patton diminishes Orton, but Cena shoves Orton into Patton, knocking Patton headfirst into the steps. There are dueling chants for Cena. Cena laughs at the crowd and lifts Orton for a double A. Orton gets off and lifts Cena onto his shoulders before hitting a double A on the commentary table. The table has delayed a break. Hold on a second, everybody. Hold on a second. Little drink break. Orton grabs Cena and bounces his face off the table. Orton looks under the ring, but doesn't find what he's looking for. Just like I like that song by U2. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's a song by U2, 1987's. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. He circles around, but he is facing the LED portion of the apron. So he has to walk around the ring to eventually pull a table out. Orton sets up a table at ringside. Orton grabs Cena and bounces him off the barricade. Cena fights back and bounces Orton off the barricade and the steel steps. Cena goes for a double A through the table at ringside, but Orton slides off and hits Cena with another double A through the table. Orton gets Cena in the ring and the crowd chants, "This is awesome." Orton stalks Cena in the ring. It's an RKO, but there's no referee. Referee Eddie Rangos runs down and starts to count. 1-2, Cena kicks out, but Orton isn't happy. with Orrango's count. Cena goes to hit Orton with the title, but Orton ducks and Orango gets hit instead. Orton hits Cena with an RKO and covers. Orton has Cena dead to rights, but there is no referee. There is no one. But there's no one there to count. WWE officials run down to check on the referee. Orton is fierce and argues with SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. Aldis talks to Orton, but Orton drops him with an RKO. Orton then hits a producer with an RKO. Wow. Next is Shane Helms, the Hurricane, and Daivari. Yeah, Daivari, you know the man with Mama Sign. And then JB Noble from J&J Security all receive RKOs. Crowd's going crazy. Now expecting Orton looks down to an unconscious Cena and backs up. Orton sizes him up with a punt kick, but damn, I was expecting this was going to happen. But R-Truth runs in and comes to the aid of his childhood hero John Cena. Orton hits R-Truth with an RKO. Cena hits Orton with a low blow for grabbing the Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. Cena cracks Orton with a skull and covers him. Referee Chad Patton slowly pulls himself into the ring. Cena as Orton pinning for a while. Patton starts to count 1, 2, 3. And still undisputed champion, the evil Dr. Piece of Shit, Dr. Thugonomics, John Cena. Then we see Cena cutting a little promo and shit and all that garbage and everything. It's saying and everything and garbage and shit and everything is just unbelievable. It's bullshit. Cutting a little promo everything. Just terrible. See, I expected The Rock to interfere and Travis Scott to interfere, and I expected I figured R-Truth was in because he's a John Cena's fan. He's a childhood hero. It doesn't make sense saying he's a childhood hero of John Cena. Is he crazy? I mean, him and John Cena are five years apart, and he says he's a childhood hero. This makes no sense. It's crazy. This is just stupid show. I mean, just completely garbage. I mean, I expected that Cena was gonna do what Cena was gonna do to Orton what Orton did to him as a heel when Cena was a babyface. I mean, Tech his father, WWE Hall of Famer, Cowboy Bob Orton. That didn't happen. I expected Cody Rhodes to come out here and come out and interfere, get his revenge on John Cena to help Orton out, but that didn't happen. So we saw a legacy ring, that didn't happen. Now I expected Bayley to come out and interfere to help. She will help Lyle Valkyrie retain, but that didn't happen. Her leg is still broken and hurt. I mean, her arm is still broken by the hands of Becky Lynch. I don't know why in the world WWE fans had to get the fans to think that it was Becky Lynch that attacked Bayley, but not Liv and Raquel. I don't know why they had to tear that script off with the storyline that was Liv and Raquel that did it, but instead Becky Lynch that attacked Lyra Valkyrie that attacked Bayley backstage. Just completely, it's a terrible show tonight. I mean, the future of WWE is terrible, and this just is terrible. I mean, WWE is completely going to fail, big time. Really gonna fail, just like AEW is gonna fail. Just seemed really humiliating, embarrassed Orton in his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. I bet all of you happy that fans are really happy Cena won. Terrible show, just real terrible show. WWE's already failing. They already got Netflix. We already being flipped. WWE is really desperate. With all these releases, they are really desperate. All these superstars. complete garbage. See, Vince McMahon's already destroying a legacy. See, Triple H is destroying a legacy that Vince McMahon created and that his late grandfather created. Triple H is having all these fans fooled. Just a terrible, pathetic show tonight, event tonight. So that's my review for tonight's Backlash. Now it's time for something I like to do. I know what it's time for. It's time for it's time for Justin's timeline history of all the wrestling birthdays, wrestling history, pop culture, and all that stuff. All you hear that thing is a thing from Back to the Future time. Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Can't wait for his 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025. Because the movie was released July 3rd, 1985. Yep. So let's go to today's shall we? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Give me 1 second. Okay, come back. And okay, let's get on hit history and birthdays. Okay. Okay. On this day in 1995, we lost a wrestler, Italian wrestler, died of a car crash. His name is Elio Di Pablo. Elio Di Elio Di Paolo. Yeah, Di Paolo. I think that's Italian. Yeah, Italian wrestler. He died of a car crash on this day, May 10th, 1995. He was 68. Okay. Today is also a happy. Today is a happy 72nd birthday to El Matador Tito Santana. WWE Hall of Fame El Matador Tito Santana. Arriba. And William Regal, he turns. William Regal, he turns 57 today. I believe should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. William Regal. And today's also a happy 30th birthday to Carlos, the Spanish wrestler Carlos Romo. And on this day in 1985, at a Salt Lake City show in Utah, promoted by the AWA American Wrestling Association, Brad Rennigans defeated Steve Regal, Butch Reed defeated Buck Zumhofe, Baron Von Rasch defeated Jimmy Garvin, and Jerry Blackwell defeated Sheik Adnan Al-Qisi, as some of you know as General Adnan, late General Adnan. And Kurt Hennig and father and son duo of Larry and Kurt and Larry and Kurt defeated and Kurt and Sergeant Slaughter defeated the Legion of Doom. Hawk and Animal Paul Ellering 3-on-3 cage. 3-on-3 steel cage match. It was a 3-on-3 tag team steel cage match, and about the match I mentioned with Jerry Blackwell and the late Sheik Adnan Al-Qisi. Some know as General Adnan, that was in the steel cage. Hold on a second. trying to see what else. See what else. What you found? Trying to see what else. Trying to find what other wrestling piece of wrestling history. So, okay, 19 this day, 1985. Sorry, on Friday Night Titans. Hosted by Vincent Mann and Lord Alfred Hayes. Lord Alfred Hayes. And Bruno Sammartino joins the TNT set. And it shows a highlight of his son. They show a highlight of his son facing off against the jobber. Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton joined the TNT set. And I'm really how Bob Orton feels about his son losing to John Cena tonight, WWE Hall of Famer. They show a highlight match of Cowboy Bob Orton versus Paul Roman and TNT Doctor, the FNT being exact, FNT Doctor. Sorry, I said TNT. I meant FNT because it's Friday, not Tuesday. It's not Friday Night Titans. It's Tuesday, not Tuesday Night Titans. Friday Night Titans. The FNT Doctor investigates Cowboy Bob Orton's arm. Ivan Putski joins the FNT set about the FNT set. They show a highlight of his match against Goldie Rogers. And Ivan Putski shows Vincent Alfred a kielbasa tree. Now I know a friend of mine from Pittsburgh knows he remembers that because he remembers watching FNT, which is Friday night on Tuesday Night Titans. I know why Vincent didn't call it when he called it Friday Night Titans when he moved the show Tuesday Night Titans to Friday nights. Now on that same day, a movie was released in theaters on this day, 1985. Yeah, movies released in theaters on this day is called the name of the movie is called Rustler's Rhapsody, starring Tom Berenger. And is from the director of Police Academy. Supporting cast is we call G.W. Bailey, who also worked with director Hubert Wilson for the 1980 for 2001's for 1984's Police Academy. Mary Lou Henner from Taxi, Andy Griffith, Celia Ward from E.T. Celia Ward from NBC's ER. And I'm sorry, not ER. I'm sorry. The TV show she's a TV show called Sisters, and she did a TV show called CSI NY for CBS, and she did a CBS show called FBI. She was in a lot of American American TV shows. And see, yeah, I think that's it. So that'll wrap it up for my review from the terrible show, this garbage show of WWE's Backlash, 2025. From the Godfather, Soldier Sons, Lake Chad Henshaw, dress up Chubby Checker, sing Lionel Richie, dance like Lionel Richie. Um, Gonna get that hot tub when we sweat. Gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing the impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. But I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little on Comedy Central. My mom told me everything about the 80s. I know everything about 80s pop culture. I'm 36 right now. I grew up in the 90s. I know everything about the 80s because my mom told me. So hope all have a good night. It was a really terrible way to start. The Backlash was just garbage. A real terrible way to start this Mother's Day weekend. So I hope all of you have a good Mother's Day tomorrow. Give show remember honor thy mother. Now I'm going to close out showing you something with this funny moment, since all of you know that today is William Regal's today is the happy 57th birthday to future WWE Hall of Famer William Regal. I'm going to close out this show with a very funny moment in WWE history when William Regal peed on the Big Show. And the date was see, when is that date? The date was November 26, 2001 on Monday Night Raw, when William Regal peed in the Big Show, where everyone trying to he was still fighting it with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Test and all the Test and Dudley Boys and Christian were all taking a bathroom break, and then Devon came in, and then bam, William Regal peed on the Big Show. Then it led into a match. Then Booker T came out, and then Booker T came out and interfered and helped William Regal get the win. So I'm gonna play that video audio piece for all of you. Close out the show tonight. So hope all of you a good night, and tomorrow, and have a happy Mother's Day, and always remember to honor thy mother and give her love and appreciation, and love her. Have a good Mother's Day out for all of you tomorrow night, and good night. And here's here's the close out show all of you tonight with the William Regal peeing on the Big Show from the November 26, 2001 edition of Monday Night Raw in honor of his 68th and in honor of his 57th birthday. So have a good night, everybody. Peace.
Here's the Big Show, you know. Well, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, the Big Show kind of got a warm feeling from his experience with William Regal moments ago.
Oh, you got that right. I can't wait to see it again. As a matter of fact, I've got my royal telestrator here, and I'm going to sort of demonstrate to everybody exactly what took place. Can we see that again? Look at this. They all went to the restroom together because they were afraid the rattlesnake might show up. And look, William Regal, first of all, he sees why they call the Big Show the Big Show. And then listen to this. The door slam. See, think it's awesome. You have to keep your eyes right here. Look at this. The trajectory is everything. Oh my gosh, it's the old golden shower for the Big Show. And this man right here is very, very angry, JR.
Man, he has a right to be.
You got that right. I got peed on.
And this was during the commercial break. The Big Show coming out of Ric Flair's office with somewhat of a satisfied look on his face.
You know, here's a guy that did it. He killed them all. Look at it.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, William Regal.
Earlier tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the men's urinal, we'll take you back to that moment.
I'll never forget the trajectory once again. William Regal turned around and
is going to be Regal and the 500-pound Big Show King.
Wow. It's going to be something. Let me just tell you that tonight, brought to you by Foot Locker. Stop by your local Foot Locker today and find out how you can win a chance to hang with a WWF superstar.
And by the Give It Tube from JVC. Get the tube, feel the power.
And it's brought to you by Snickers Cruncher. Are you hungry, JR?
Yeah.
Well, crunch this. It's a Snickers Cruncher.
Last Monday Night King there in Charlotte when he was the first member of the Mr. McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. Man, you got to compromise your dignity and all your character to do that. I'll tell you.
Come on, JR. It's not that bad. I mean, look at
what you do.
William Regal. Well, look, I have my standard. They may be low, but I have my standard. Well, what you doing? I asked you before, you didn't answer me.
I wouldn't do it. It's silly.
You mean if he called you up in the ring and said your job depends on it, JR? See, you would never ask me because I just got my job. But what if he called you up and said your job depends on it?
Booker T.
What's he doing here?
What the hell is he doing here?
He's putting unemployment line.
Booker T was with the Alliance when they went down to
Hey, look at this.
Regal's got some, he has some nuts on his hand.
He got pressed nuts. Is that what Vince gave him?
Man,
He's not the Big Show. I'm told.
Booker T, what the hell? And now Regal's going to get a cheap one here.
Wow.
With the brass nuts.
How smart is Vince McMahon?
William Regal.
And Booker T is out of work. Or at least I thought he was out of work.
And how mad is the Big Show going to be when he realizes he not only got his leg beat on, he got beat with some brass nuts by that man, William Regal.
And but by the way, that was one of the funnest moments in WWE history, right there. So happy birthday to William Regal, by the way. As I said before, just want to say, forgot to add one thing. That was so happy birthday, William Regal. You're one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Happy 68th birthday. Happy 60. Hold on a second. Happy 57th birthday to you, Mr. Regal, for everything you've done in WWE. We hope to see you in the WWE Hall of Fame sometime soon. And sorry to interrupt about this. I just want to say happy birthday. Forgot to mention happy birthday, Regal. And once again, happy Mother's Day to all of you. Hope all of you good night. I'm out of here. Peace. And by the way, Backlash will mark the end of the Backlash terrible show tonight. Mark the end of WWE. So have a good night once again. To all of you, good night.